Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to your second lesson on handwriting. We're going to continue practice writing our first and last name and the date, writing out the month, day, and year. Last time I wrote my first name, Kayla, and my last name, Hostetler. This time I'm going to use a different name just to give you a preference of different letters to view. So let's start with our name. If you remember, the first thing we need to do is make sure that we have good posture, that we're sitting up straight, we're sitting with our back against the back of our chair, our feet are uncrossed and are flat on the floor firmly, and we are holding our pencil with the correct pencil grip. As always, when we're writing, we're going to start from the left to the right and make our letters starting at the top line and working down. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start with the name Rebecca. So Rebecca starts with an R. And the first letter of our first name is always an uppercase or capital letter because our name is a proper noun. So let's start with an uppercase R. Start at the top line, go the whole way down to the bottom line, come back to the top line, circle around to the center line, go back to the center, and the whole way down to the bottom line. And that is an uppercase R. Now the rest of the name is going to be in lowercase letters. So I'm going to write the E and make sure my E comes the whole way across. Lowercase b. And have another E. A lowercase k. It's a little tricky. Great. And we want to make sure we're trying to make sure we hit the top line, the middle line, and the bottom line when we're creating our letters. Now we have to do our last name. Make sure you put a thumb down on your paper to space out between your first and last name. So put your thumb down, and then you're going to start the last name. My last name, the first letter starts with an uppercase letter, again because it's a proper noun. So an uppercase letter for my last name, and the last name I'm going to use is Hannon. Make sure we start at the top and the whole way down, and then we're going to our lowercase letters for the rest of the name. Remember, our lowercase usually fall below that center line, touching it and then going down to the bottom line. Great. So now practice writing your first name with a capital uppercase first letter, lowercase letters for the rest of the name, and your last name with a capital uppercase letter and lowercase letters for the rest of your last name. Go ahead and pause the video now so you can practice writing your full name. When you're done, hit play. Great job! Let's continue practicing writing our name again. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. We're going to start with the first letter of the first name, and it's going to be an uppercase letter. And then the rest of the name is going to be lowercase letters. And we want to make sure that we do our absolute best of staying in the lines and going the whole way from the top to the bottom when it needs to, and going from the middle line to the bottom when we have our lowercase letters. Then I'm going to put my thumb down to space out to start my last name, and then the first letter of my last name is going to be an uppercase letter. And again, we're going to do our absolute best of staying in the lines and making our letters as neat as possible. We really want to improve our handwriting this year. Great. Now go ahead now and hit pause on the video and practice writing your name one more time. Then hit play when you're ready. Great job! So we're going to practice one more time, but this time I'm not going to model it for you. You're going to practice writing your name on your own for the third time. The more we practice writing our name, the better we become at it and the neater it gets. So go ahead and hit pause on the video and then hit play when you're done writing your name for the third time. Remember, practice makes perfect. Great job writing your first and last name. Now we are going to continue writing the date. We're going to write out the full month, the day, and then the year. Now the date I'm going to write is not the day it is going to be when you complete this work. So please ask the adult that is helping you to write the date at the top of your handwriting paper so you can see what it looks like to spell the date and what the numbers look like. So I'm going to pretend that today is June 25th, 2020 because the last video we practiced writing July. So I'm just going to change the month so you can see what a different month looks like. So I'm going to start again with my feet planted on the floor, my legs uncrossed, having good posture with my back sitting up straight, and I have the correct pencil grip on my pencil. I'm going to start left to right and from top to bottom. I'm going to start with making a capital J because the first letter of a month is a capital letter because the month is a proper noun. Then the rest of the letters for June are going to be lowercase. Remember, we want to take our time and try to make our handwriting as neat as possible. Then we have the month, June. Then I'm going to write the date. I'm pretending today is June 25th. I start at the top of the paper and then I come down to the bottom of the line. After the date, we're going to put in a little comma, and then we're going to put the year. The year is 2020. My 2, my 0, another 2, and a 0. So the date I chose was June 25th, 2020. Again, ask the adult that is helping you to write the date for you at the top of your handwriting page, and go ahead and practice writing out the date. Hit pause on the video and then hit play after you wrote out the entire date. Take your time and practice on that neat handwriting skills. Great job. Let's practice again. Again, I'm going to start with a capital uppercase letter for the first letter of my date because the month is a proper noun. I'm going to write the rest of the letters in lowercase letters. I'm going to take my time to make sure my writing looks as neat as possible. After I have the date, the month, I'm going to put my thumb down to make sure I have space to write the date, which I said is the 25th. I'm starting at the top of my line and going down to my bottom line. After the date, I'm going to put a comma, and then I'm going to put the year. The year is 2020. I'm going to start at the top and go the whole way down. All right, so it's your turn to practice writing your date again. Again, press pause as you write your date, and then hit play when you are finished. Great job. And just like before, we're going to practice one more time. But this time, I'm not going to model for you. You're going to practice on your own. So go ahead and hit pause and write the date a third time. Great job, boys and girls. Continue working on your handwriting when you have some spare time. The more we practice, the better our handwriting will be.